Hey guys, Kim with Kim Taylor Real Estate Group here with my friend today, Lindsey Murillo. We've known each other for a couple of years and you are doing some exciting new things. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you are doing now.
Lindsey Murillo with Lindsey Murillo Interiors, and interesting story is that one of the reasons that I met Kim, because she's in real estate, was because I had started my business as a home stager. So
Mhm.
my business used to be called The Staging Coach. Very quickly after I started that business, it turned into Lindsey Murillo Interiors, because every time I would stage a home, people would come through there and like, who staged this home? And like, could they come to my house?
Right.
So it quickly turned into interior design. I rebranded into Lindsey Murillo Interiors, and now this is what we're doing. So we are a full service interior design firm, whether it's new construction, remodel, renovation, or just furnishings, whatever it is that you need, we do it, and we've got a service for you.
That's crazy. So where are you based out of?
So we office in Keller,
Okay.
Keller, Texas, but we service all of DFW, and even we've had projects across state lines as well. So just depending on the project and the service, we can go just about anywhere.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So good to know. So you can help somebody that's building a new house and they're terrified to go. I mean, that's my favorite part of being a realtor, but like if somebody needs help with that, you can do something as simple as that.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that example particularly,
Mhm.
there's something really unique that we bring to the table. So I always tell people, like, when you're, whether it's remodel, construction, whatever it is that you're doing, always bring your designer in first, because builders and architects, they know how to do their job, but it's not always necessarily with the client first in mind and how they're going to live their day-to-day life, which is where we come in. So, for example, let's say you are building a home and you're in new construction and you either have the floor plans or maybe you don't yet or whatever. We ask a million questions, and we relay those things to the architect and to the builder so they can execute those plans. Or let's say you already do have some plans drawn up. The first thing we're gonna do is kind of edit those down and walk through those to find out, is this floor plan really serving you and your family? So we come in with a very different approach. We're very client focused. And so that is how we approach all of our projects. And so, yes, to answer your question, we can do everything from, we're just breaking ground and beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you're the smart person that reminds people to, like, I'm fixing a list an amazing custom build up in Justin and Avery Ranch. And it was so cool because on her giant island, she had this silver thing. And I'm like, what is that silver thing? She goes, oh, this is so cool. Watch this. She popped it up and up pops, like the
A
USB
strip.
port. And
Yeah.
yeah, one of those strips. I'm like, you don't get those with just DR Horton.
No, you sure don't. You sure don't. And that's one of the things about, working with a designer also, is the customization and the
Yes.
personalization that comes to a project, because we really get
Mhm.
to know our clients and
Yeah.
what needs you have in every area of your house, and then finding creative solutions for those things.
Yeah, love it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here because we didn't really talk about this. But what are some, I think people will want to hear this. What do you think are some of the top trends right now?
I
Like
knew
as
you would
far
ask
as,
this.
yeah, like
Everybody wants to know.
color, like flooring, like what are some of the best things that you're seeing right now?
Yeah, so I think what's interesting about what's trending right now is that everything and nothing is trending.
Mm.
So
Everything and
everything and
nothing.
nothing, which means it's like
Mm.
a free for all.
Free for
And I
all.
say that because I think after people were secluded and isolated in their homes for a year,
Mm.
what they realized is, I don't necessarily care as much about what's trending. What I realized is I was living in my home and I didn't feel good about my home. And
Mhm.
so now I want to make sure that my home feels like me. I want it to feel welcoming for my guests that can finally come back in. And so I think people are caring less about what's trending. And I think they're caring more about, is my home serving me, my needs, and my family? And that's
Ooh.
what's trending. And as a designer, that's, for particularly in my, like, we never design what's trending. I will not put a trend in your home. We design classically and
Mm.
timelessly. And I
Okay.
think that is also what's trending. Because what's the other thing that's happening right now is, especially like, just in the last year, as you know, people's asking price for their home was here and people were having to bid way, way, way above it. Then they move in the home and then they have to spend $200,000 minimum on a remodel because the house was still from the 90s and
Yeah.
every finish in it. So I think designing timelessly right now is everything. I think people are realizing that. But along with that, though, does come, we're seeing a ton of patterns, colors, combinations, textures. Sustainability is huge, and it's taking kind of the front runner as far as the talk about how do we want to execute the finishes. At LMI, I'm actually a certified sustainable interior designer. So
Wow.
I'm constantly thinking about things for my clients, like, are the things we're putting in your house, are they safe for you and your family? You know, you don't realize this, but when you're walking around barefoot on your wood floors that have been treated with some kind of like epoxy sealer or something, you're absorbing that into your bloodstream. When you purchase, you know, sheets that have been chemically finished with flame retardant chemicals and you put your baby in there, your child in there, or your dog bed, they're absorbing those into their skin, into their bloodstream. It's not a healthy environment for them to be in. The paint we're using, the, you know, the furnishings we're buying, the things that we're burning, you know, in the air, candles and all these other things. And so we also think with those things in mind. So trending today is nothing and everything. It's timeless design, but it's also creating a space that makes you feel healthy and happy. And part of that is color, texture, pattern. The other part of that is the materials themselves.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That is a lot to
a
unpackage.
lot.
So kind of funny because I tell clients, you know, I also have decorated and staged for people for 20 years, just not to the level you do, but I have always told people that do what you love. Like do what makes you happy. Like it doesn't matter what Joanna Gaines says. I mean, yeah, she's got cool stuff, but like what makes you happy? And then so many people have always told me, well, I can't do what you do. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Like, God created all women the same. And I tell them, I say, every one of us have a little bit of Martha Stewart in us. This was back when Martha was big 20 years ago. But it's like we all have a little bit of Martha or Joanna in us. We just have to pull it out. Sometimes we need help from people like you to help us. But hopefully it springboards people into getting more confident about, you know, going to, you know, At Home or Z Gallery and buying something and being confident that they're okay buying it. Not, you know, does that make sense what I'm trying to say? It's like,
Yes, but I would also advise this because any person can look at an item or even 10 items, say, "Ooh, I really like that." But pulling it all together is a science and it's actually a math. I mean, I do
yeah.
more math and science in my job than any other thing that I do. More than I do design, more than I do anything else, we do a lot of math and science. And so
Yeah.
the gifting to bring all those things together is what gets you that picture perfect finish that people
Yeah.
are looking for. And
100%.
and
Don't look at my shelves.
yeah, which are overdressed, right? So like again, it's like, and I mean, I know that this is also your workspace, right? So you like
Yes.
legitimately this is functional for you,
Yeah.
right?
I should have my
So
virtual background on for
this is
sure.
real life. Like this is Kim asked me to hide my background because I'm in like I'm just all this like we saw like all these fabric samples and things.
We
This is
got
just
to look
my
at
real
some of
life
those
office.
samples.
This is just real life office though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is my office. I've got samples everywhere. So, but there's a science, you know, like scientifically only 15% of people can in their brains do what the interior designers can do
Yeah.
and see things
Right.
in their minds. Only 15% of people can visualize things that are not there. And it's a lot of what we do. And then we do the math and the calculations to make sure what we're envisioning really does work on paper and in real
Yeah.
life. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, just at 1:30 today, I did a Zoom call with our CEO for our Facebook JPAR Nation, and it was about what are we having to do with this shifting market as a realtor. And for me, doing primarily listings, it's about holy cow, you can't just throw a house on the market. Like we have to go back to the basics of making sure things are pared down, making sure, you know, you don't have too much clutter and like you got one shot to make a good first
yeah,
impression and that's the
yeah.
photos and it's uber important. So yeah, I'm tracking with you on all that. So, but yeah, after looking, I do need to kind of pare down my shelves. But anyway,
Or
so
do what makes you happy, right? So
Well,
there's like two.
it doesn't make me happy because I don't even, oh, this side. I don't even use those. I hadn't even read that book. Yeah, I need to clean up. So
So there's
I'm
two
gonna,
there's two truths in design.
yeah.
Less is more
Hmm.
and more is more. Like, and you're either
Wait,
one.
say that again.
There's
Less
two
is
truths. Less
more
is more and
and
more is
more.
more. So,
Mm,
and it all depends on your preference.
mm,
So some people love the extravagant, elaborate,
of
I've
just
seen,
stuff.
oh, like, lots of decor, and the wallpaper is on every single part with matching fabrics and, all that kind of stuff. And there's a pattern everywhere. And then you've got your minimalists, right, who do like Scandinavian design, and there's, it's monochromatic and it's all one color, and it's, three different textures, and that's it, right? So, do you though,
And
right? So
and
like
and
whatever
hadn't you
you
seen
come alive.
haven't you seen people swift that or swing that pendulum? Because I feel like I probably used to be that way, but I'm very much now. I mean, I'm not a minimalist,
Yeah.
but I'm better than I was.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of that came with 2020 when we
Yeah.
started going through our closets
Oh
and
yeah.
pantries and garages, and
Yeah.
just realizing I'm not using a lot of the stuff that I'm keeping.
Yeah.
And so I think with smart design, which is something we do talk to our clients about, is
Yeah.
let's say we're renovating your kitchen. What is staying here? What have you
Yeah.
used in the last 3 years that you're going to use and keep? And if not, let's get rid of it. Because
Yeah.
what we want to do is functionally design the space for you and the things that are going to be in it. So
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily that minimal design. I think we are seeing more people design in that capacity, but also being in the design world, I'm still also seeing a lot of people design more is more at the same time,
Mm,
right? But again, it's a matter of what's going to make you happy.
yeah.
So just because it's minimal, you might have the same amount of things going here, in one room versus another, but this one maybe is just loaded with pattern.
Yeah.
Maybe the amount of items are the same, but there's just a ton more pattern over here than over here. So
Yeah.
there's not anything actually more in here. It just looks busier because there's more patterns. So yeah, it's
Interesting.
visual.
So, did you ever get into? I'll ask you one last question because we don't want to. I don't know where we're at on time, but did you ever get into that? I'm going to use my lovely limoncello LaCroix here. Like, you weren't this person, were you? Like, you go to something, and you're like, this has served its purpose. You do mean, I don't, what is that KonMari crap?
Marie Kondo.
But is it,
Only Marie Kondo, only keep what brings you joy.
this can brings me joy, but I don't
Then
need to
keep
keep
it.
it.
Okay, then get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a
Do you
sentimental
dive
person.
into that?
I'm not a sentimental person,
Yeah,
so
me
like
neither.
I don't keep a lot of things. I keep what's functional, right?
Yeah.
So like in my house, I keep around what I use, and if I haven't
Yeah.
used you and I don't need you, then you're out.
And you don't feel bad about it. Now, is your husband sentimental?
No,
Oh, see, mine is, and I
zero.
am such a
God,
rat for throwing things out. I'm so
thank you.
bad. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, please.
yeah,
Anyway, it's all
yeah,
good. It's what
mhm,
makes the world go round, right?
yeah, yeah.
I love
So
it. Okay, girl. Well, I won't keep you. I so appreciate you hopping on with me and telling me what you're doing. So if anybody needs an interior decorator, man, you're the one to go to. You are out there shaking everything up, and man, if I need anything, I will definitely give you a buzz.
yes. Thanks for
And
having me, Kim.
no problem. Have a good rest of your
You
day.
too. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.